Hola, ¿todo bien? ¿Qué onda? ¿Qué es este video? Voy a hacer yo leyendo este libro de acá, el Ulises de James Joyce. ¿Por qué? Estoy haciendo un taller de lectura del Ulises porque el Ulises es un libro re complicado y no considero tener el IQ para hacerlo yo por mi cuenta. En este taller hay encuentros cada 15 días y la idea es leer 2 capítulos o uno dependiendo un poco de la longitud y así para cada encuentro. Y nada, yo lo que pasó fue que son los martes los encuentros y miércoles tenía un final. Entonces los 2 capítulos del martes no los había leído. Ya leí uno, me falta el otro, o sea que ahora voy a tener que leer el tercer capítulo. Y para el próximo encuentro voy a tener que leer el cuarto y el quinto también. Así que nada. Yo esto lo estoy haciendo también porque a mí me sirve leer en inglés. Lo estoy leyendo. Lo estoy leyendo en inglés. Fuertísimo. Entonces me sirve leerlo en voz alta por un tema de que como que puedo procesarlo un poco más y entenderlo más. Porque a veces vos como que lees en inglés y decís bla, 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 y te perdiste un montón. Entonces nada, como que mi idea es, o sea, me di cuenta de que hay algo de la musicalidad y la sonoridad que capto más si lo leo en voz alta. Y nada, eso, la verdad que me sirve. Y también es re loco porque este es un libro loquísimo. Es loquísimo, es cualquier cosa, es todo, es nada, es todo al mismo tiempo, es nada al mismo tiempo, etc. Pero lo que tiene es que hay un error en tercera persona y a veces muchas veces mete los pensamientos del personaje Stephen de Dalus, que son los primeros 3 capítulos tratan de él. Y lo que tiene curioso es que hay cierta musicalidad que tiene cuando habla él, que es algo que solo se puede percibir, uno, en inglés, dos, cuando lo pensás como se leería en voz alta. Entonces nada, por eso también siento que me importa eso. Lo que está bueno igual de meterme a leer este capítulo ahora es que ya pasé por el encuentro, o sea que ya sé tipo con qué claves leerlo. Y nada, lo que dicen del capítulo 3 es que es como, si vos sobrevivís a este capítulo, estás bien para seguir leyéndolo. Pero hay mucha gente que va a este capítulo y lo abandona y la pasa medio mal. Así que nada, esto es como la prueba de fuego, así lo dijeron mis profes en el taller. Que esto es la prueba de fuego para ver qué onda con el Ulises. Así que nada, es este libro, así lo tengo dividido. Pero nada, voy a arrancar. Pido perdón por mi pronunciación, ¿no? O sea, no, claramente no debo tener una gran pronunciación. O no una pronunciación nativa, ni irlandesa, mucho menos. Pero bueno, esto es lo que me sirve un poco a mí. Yo tengo agua acá. Así que nada, voy a arrancar a leer y nada, pido perdón si está raro. No sé a quién le interesa escucharme hablar de Ulises, o sea, leer el Ulises. Sí, eso. Arranco. Para, me tengo que poner como, no sé cómo. Ahí. No sé un carajo. Estoy como acostado. A ver si. Ok. Bueno, entonces nada, te leo el Ulises. Lucía del futuro que quiera escuchar el tercer capítulo de Ulises. No sé. Ineluctable modality of the visible. At least that if no more thought through my eyes. Signatures of all things I am here to read. Sea-spawn and sea-rag, the nearing tide, that rusty boot. Snot green, blue silver, rust. Colored signs. Limits of the diaphane. But he adds, in bodies. Then he was aware of them bodies before them colored. How? By knocking his scones against them, sure, go easy. Both he was and a millionaire. Maestro di color que sano. Limit of the diaphane in. Why in? Diaphane, a diaphane. If you can put your 5 fingers through it, it is a gate, if not a door. Shut your eyes and see. Stephen closed his eyes to hear his boots crush crackling rock and shells. You're walking through it, howsoever. I am a stride at a time, a very short space of time through very short times of space. 5, 6, the Nasheinander. Exactly. And that is the ineluctable modality of the audible. Open your eyes. No, Jesus. If I fell over a cliff that beetles over his base, fell through the Nevenander ineluctably. I am getting on nicely in the dark. My ash sword hangs at my side. Tap with it, they do. My 2 feet in his boots are at the end of his legs. Neve Neinander. Sound solid, made by the mullet of los Demiurgos. Am I walking into eternity along Sandy Mount Strand? Crash, crack, creak, creak. Wild sea money. Domini DC Kings them A. Won't you come to Sandy Mount, Madeline the Mare? Rhythm begins, you see, I hear, a catalytic tetrameter of yams marching. No gallop, delaying the mare. Open your eyes now. I will. One moment. Has all vanished since? If I open and am forever in the black diaphane, basta. I will see them if I can see. See now. They're all the time without you, and ever shall be a world without end. They came down the steps from Lichis terrace prudently, front simmer, and down the shelving shore flabbily their splayed feet singing in the silted sand, like me, like algae, coming down to our mighty mother. Number 1 swung loudly her midwife's bag. The other's gamp poked in the beach. From the Liberties out for the day, Mrs. Florence McCabe, relict of the late McCabe, deeply lamented of Bright Street. One of her sister good luck Miss Quilling into life, creation from nothing. What has she in the bag? A Miss Birth with a trailing navel cord, hushed in ruddy wool. The cords of all linked back, stranded winning cable of all flesh. That's why mystic monks. That is why mystic monks. Will you be as gods, gaze in your home fellows? Hello, Kinshire. Put me on to Edenville. Aleph Alpha Note 1. Spouse and helpmate of Adam Cadmon. Heba naked eye. She had no navel, gaze, belly without blemish. Bulging big, a buckler of taut vellum. No, white-hipped corn, orient and immortal. Standing from everlasting to everlasting. Womb of sin. Wombed in sin darkness I was too. Made not begotten. By them, the man with my voice and my eyes, and a ghost woman with ashes on her breath. They clasped and sundered, did the coupler's will. From before the ages he willed me, and now may not will me away or ever. A lex eterna stays about him. Is that then the divine substance wherein father and son are consubstantial? Where is poor dear Arius to try conclusions, but warring his life long on the Contrans magnificandus juventantiality, ill-starred heresiarch. With bedded mitre and with crozier still upon his throne, widower of widowed sea, which abstifled homophorion with clothed hinder parts. Es rarísimo todas las palabras que está usando este capítulo, Dios mío. Airs romped around him, nipping and eager airs. They are coming, waves. The white man... Bueno, eso fue todo un flujo de conciencia. Y acá vuelve a Stephen. O sea, todo esto era lo que estaba pensando Stephen. Y ahí dice... Airs romped around him, nipping and eager airs. They are coming, waves. The white man, seahorses. Vuelve al mar. El chabón está en el mar. Pero todo eso... qué rarísimo todo. Dios mío. Porque suele usar palabras medio complicadas. Pero esto... está muy raro. Y aparte en inglés. ¿Por qué decirlo en inglés? No, igual me gusta leerlo en inglés. Me estoy desafiando. Bueno. The white man's seahorses champing bright wind bridle the steeds of Menanem. I mustn't forget his letter for the press. And after, the sheep have 12. By the way, go easy with that money like a god young imbecile. Yes, I must. His pace slackened. Here, am I going to Aunt Sarah's or not? My consubstantial father voice. Did you see anything of your artist brother Stephen lately? No. Sure he's not down in Strasbourg Terrace with his Aunt Solly. Couldn't he fly a bit higher than that, eh? And tell us, Stephen, how is Uncle C? Oh, weeping God, the things I married into. The boys up in the hayloft. The drunken little ghost drawer and his brother, the cornet player. Highly respectable gondoliers. And Skewed Walter searing his father, no less. Sir, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. No, sir. Jesus wept, and no wonder, by Christ. I put the wheezy bell of their shattered cottage, and wait. They take me for a dun, peer out from a coign of vantage. It's Stephen, sir. Let him in. Let Stephen in. A bolt drawn back and Walter welcomes me. We thought you were someone else. In his broad bed, Uncle Richie, pillowed and blanketed, extends over the hillock of his knees a sturdy forearm, clean-chested. He has washed the upper moiety. Morrow, nephew. He lays aside the lapboard whereon he drafts his bills of costs for the eyes of Master Goff and Master Chaplain Tandy, filling consents and common searches and writ of duces tecum. A bogoak frame over his bald head, wild requiescat. The drone of his misleading whistle brings Walter back. Yes, sir? Mod for reaching Stephen, tell mother. Where is she? Bathing Chrissy, sir. Papa's little bed pal. Lump of love. No, Uncle Richie. Call me Richie. Damn your Lydia water. It lowers whiskey. Uncle Richie, really? Sit down, or by the law, Harry'll knock you down. Walter squints vainly for a chair. He has nothing to sit down on, sir. He has nowhere to put it, you mug. Bring in our Chippendale chair. Would you like a bite of something? None of your damned lo-di-do are here. The reach of a rasher fried with a herring? Share. So much the better. We have nothing in the house but backache pills. Alerta. He drones bars of Ferrando's aria de sortita. The grandest number, Stephen, in the whole opera. Listen. His tuneful whistle sounds again, finely shaded with brushes of the air, his fists big drumming on his padded knees. This wind is sweeter. House of Decay, mine, his and all. You told the Conglos gentry you had an uncle, a judge, and an uncle, a general in the army. Come out of them, Stephen. Beauty is not there, nor in the stagnant bay of Marsh's library where you read the fading prophecies of Joaquin Abbas. For whom? The 100-headed rabble of the cathedral close. A hatter of his kind ran from them to the wood of madness, his mane foaming in the moon, his eyeballs stars, horse-nostriled, the oval equine faces, Temple, Buck Mulligan, Foxy Campbell, Lantern Jaws, Abba's father, Furious Dean, what offense laid fire to their brains? Puff! Descend de calve ut nenimium de calveris. A garland of grey hair on his comminated head, see him me clambering down to the foot space, descended, clutching a monstrous basilisk kyle. Get down, bold Paul. A choir gives back menace and echo, assisting about the altar's horns, the snorted Latin of jack priests moving blurry in their albs. Tonsured and oiled and gilded, fat with the fat of kidneys of wheat. And at the same instant, perhaps, a priest around the corner is elevating it. Drink, and 2 streets of another locking it into a pig's. Drink, and in a lady chapel, another singing house all to his own cheek. Drink, down, up, forward, back. Then I'll come forth of that invincible doctor. A misty English morning, the imp hypothesis tickled his brain. Bringing his host down and kneeling, he heard twine with his second bell, the first bell in the transept. He's lifting his, and rising heard, now I am lifting, their 2 bells. He is kneeling. Twang in deep song. Cousin Stephen, you will never be a saint. Isle of saints. You were awfully holy, weren't you? You prayed to the blessed Virgin that you might not have a red nose. You prayed to the devil in Serpentine Avenue that the filthy widow in front might lift her clothes still more from the wet street. Oh, si, certo. Sell your soul for that. Do. Dyed rags pinned round the squaw. More tell me, more still. On the top of the house tram, alone, crying to the rain. Naked women. What about that, huh? What about that? What else were they invented for? Reading 2 pages a piece of 7 books every night, eh? I was young. You bowed to yourself in the mirror, stepping forward to applause earnestly. Striking face, Hurry for the goddamn idiot. Hooray! No one saw. Tell no one. Books you're going to write with letters for titles. Have you read his F? Oh, yes, but I prefer Q. Yes, but W is wonderful. Oh, yes, W. Remember your epiphanies on green oval lips. Deeply deep, copies to be sent if you dive to all the great libraries of the world, including Alexandria. Someone was to read them before after a few thousand years. Mahammanvantara. Picodella Mirandola like. Aye, very like a whale. When one reads these strange pages of one long gone, one feels that one is at one with one who wants. O sea, esto es un lío de pronunciaciones. Juro que los otros capítulos no son tan fuertes. Perdón. Vuelvo. The grainy sand had gone from under his feet. His boots trod again a damp crackling mast, razor shells, squeaking pebbles, that on the unnumbered pebbles beats. Wood sieved by the shipworm, lost Armando. Unwholesome sand flats waited to suck his fretting soles, breathing upwards to each breath. He coasted them, walking warily. A porter bottle stood up, stuck to his waist in the cakey sand dough. A sentinel, isle of dreadful thirst. Broken hoops on the shore, at the land a maze of dark cunning nets. Farther away, chalk-scrawled back doors, and on the higher beach a drying line with two crucified shirts. Ringsand, wigwams of brown steersmen and master marineers, human shells. He halted. I have passed the way to Aunt Sarah's. Am I not going there? Seems not. No one about. He turned northeast and crossed the firmer sand towards the pigeon house. Ah, esto está en francés. Qui-vous ami dans cette fichu position? C'est le pigeon, Joseph. Patrice, home on furlough, lapped warm milk with me in the bar MacMahon, son of the wild goose, Kevin Egan of Paris. My father's a bird. He lapped the sweet late chod with pink young tongue, plump bunny's face. Lapping. He hopes to win in the esto está en francés, no tenía Groslots. About the nature of women he read in Michelet. But he must send me La Vie de Jesus by M. Leo Taxiel, lent it to his friend. De vuelta francés. Disait Tourdant, vous savez, moi je suis socialiste, je ne crois pas en l'existence de Dieu, faut pas le dire à mon père. Il croit, mon père oui. Schluss, he laughs. My Latin quarter hat. God, we simply must dress the character. I want Pius gloves. You were a student, weren't you? Of what in the other devil's name? Paysagen? PCN? You know, physics? Chimiques et naturalistes? Eating your groat's worth of Mo and Zivet. Fleshpots of Egypt. Elbowed by belching cabmen. Just say in the most natural tone. When was I in Paris? Bourmiche. I used to carry punch tickets to prove an alibi if they arrested you for murder somewhere. Justice. On the night of the 17th of February 1904, the prisoner was seen by two witnesses. Other fellow did it, other me. Hat, tie, overcoat, nose. Louise et moi. You seem to have enjoyed yourself. Proudly walking. Whom were you trying to walk like? Forget, a dispossessed. With mother's money order, 8 shillings, the banging door of the post office slammed in your face by the usher. Hunger, toothache. Encolé 2 minutes. Look clock, must get, fermé. Hired dog, shoot him to bloody bits with a bang shotgun. Beats men spattered walls, all brass buttons. Beats all crack in place, clack back. Not hurt. Oh, that's all right. Shake hands. See what I meant? See? Oh, that's all right. Shake a shake. Oh, that's only all right. You're going to do wonders. What? Missionary to Europe after Fury Columbanus. Fiacre Scotus on their creepy stools in heaven split from their ping-pongs, loud Latin laughing, euge, pretending to speak broken English as you drag your valleys, porter threepence, across the slimy Pierrot at New Haven. Comment? Rich body you've brought back, le tutu. 5 tattered numbers of pantalon blanc culotte rouge. Ya no voy, te troco en francés, eh. A blue French telegram, curiosity to show. Mother dying, come home, father. The aunt thinks you killed your mother. That's why she won't. Then here's a health to Molly and Aunt, and I'll tell you the reason why. She always kept things decent in the Hannigan family. His feet marched in sudden proud rhythm over the sand furrow, along by boulders of the south wall. He stared at them proudly. He stared at them proudly, pipestone mammoth skills. Good light on sea, on sand, on boulders. The sun is there, the slender tree, the lemon houses. Sí, puedo comer esto. Paris rolly walking. Crude sunlight on her lemon streets. Moist pith of falls of bread. The fog-green wormwood, her matin incense, court the air. Bellomo rises from the bed of his wife's lover's wife. The kerchief-fed housewife is Aster, a saucer of acetic acid in her hands. In Rodolph's Yvonne and Madeleine's new make, their tumbled beauties shuddering with gold teeth soupçons of pastry, their mouths yellowed with the pus of flan breton. Paces of Paris men go by, their well-pleased pleasers, curled conquistadores. Noon slumbers. Kevin Egan rolls gunpowder cigarettes through fingers smeared with printer's ink, sipping his green fairy as Patrice his white. About us gobblers fork spiced beans down their gullets. Un demi-setier. A jet of coffee steam from the burnished cauldron. She serves me at his back. Il est irlandais. Hollandais? Non fromage, dur irlandais, non irlandais, vous savez? Ah oui. She thought you wanted a cheese hollandaise. Your postprandial, do you know that word postprandial? There was a fellow I knew once in Barcelona. Queer fellow. Used to call it his postprandial. Well, slangte. Around the slab tables the tangle of wine breaths and grumbling gorges. His breath hangs over our sauce-stained plates. The green fairy's fang thrusting between his lips. Of Ireland, the allegations of hopes, conspiracies, of Arthur Griffith now. To yoke me as his yoke fellow, our crimes are common cause. You're your father's son, I know the voice. His fashion shirt, sanguine flowered, trembles its Spanish tassels at his secrets. M. Drummond, famous journalist, Drummond. Do you know what he called Queen Victoria? Old hag with the yellow teeth, the yellow dress with the dense shoes. Moth gone, beautiful woman, La Patria, M. Millevoye, Felix Faure. Know how he died? The sensuous man. The Froken von a toute fait, who rubs male nakedness in the bath of Uppsala. Muy fait, she said. To le monsieur. Not this monsieur, I said. Most licentious custom, bath a most private thing. I wouldn't let my brother, not even my own brother, most lascivious thing. Green eyes, I see you. Fang, I feel. Lascivious people. Yo chusmeo cuánto va el capítulo. No sé cuánto dura. Me faltan 10 páginas. ¿Cuántas leí hasta ahora? No leí 10 igual hasta ahora. ¿O sí? Sí, leí 10. The blue fuse burns deadly between hands and burns clear. Loose tobacco shreds catch fire. A flame and acrid smoke light our corner. Raw face bones under his peep of day boy's hat. How the head center got away, authentic version. Got up as a young bride man veiled orange blossoms. Drove out the road to Malahide, deed-faced. Of lost leaders, the betrayed, wild escapes. Disguises clutched at, gone, not here.
Spurned lover, I was a strapping young gosson at what time, I'll tell you. I'll show you my likeness one day. I was Faith, lover for her love, he prowled with Colonel Richard Burke. Tannis of his sept, under the walls of Clerkenwell, and, crouching, saw a flame of vengeance, hurled upward in the fog. Shattered glass and toppling masonry. In gay Paris he hides, again of Paris. Untaught by any save by me, making his days stations, the dingy printing case, his free taverns, the Montmartre lair, he sleeps short night in, Rue de la Goutte d'Or. Damascene with fly-blown faces of the gone, loveless, landless, wifeless. She's quite nice, comfy without her outcast man, Madame in Rue Guitlecourt, canary and two-pack lodgers. Peachy cheeks, a zebra skirt, frisky as a young thing's. Spurned and undersparing. Tell Pat you saw me, won't you? I wanted to get poor Pat a job one time. Monfils, soldier of France. I taught him how to sing. The boys of Kilkenny are stout roaring blades. Know that old lay. I taught Patrick's that. Old Kilkenny. St. Canice, Strongbow's castle on the north. Goes like this. Oh, oh, he takes me, Napper Tandy by the hand. Oh, oh, the boys of Kilkenny. Weak wasting hand on mine, they have forgotten Kevin Egan, not he them. Remembering thee, ocean. He had come nearer the edge of the sea, and wet sand slapped his boots. The new air greeted him, harping in wild nerves, wind of wild air of seeds of brightness. Here, I am not walking out the Kish lightship, am I? He stood suddenly, his feet beginning to sink slowly in the quaking soil. Turn back. Turning, he scanned the shore south, his feet sinking again slowly in new sockets. The cold doomed room of the tower awaits. Through the barbicans the shafts of light are moving over, slowly ever as my feet are sinking, creeping duskward over the dial floor. Blue dusk, nightfall, deep blue night. In the darkness of the dawn they wait. They pushed back chairs, my obelisk valleys, around a board of abandoned platters. Who to clear it? He has the key. I will not sleep there when this night comes, a shut door of a silent tower entombing their blind bodies. The panthers have it, and his pointer. Call, no answer. He lifted his feet up from the sack and turned back by the mold of boulders. Take all, keep all. My soul walks with me, form of forms. So in the moon's mid-watches I pace the path above the rocks, insable my silvered here on Elsinore's tempting flood. The flood is following me, I can watch it flow past from here. Get back then by Pulvet Road to the strand here. He climbed over the sedge and Ely Orwit and sat on a stool of rock, resting his ash plant in a grike. A bloated carcass of a dog lay lolled in the bladder rack. Before him the gangway of a boat sank in sand. Un cocher ensemble. Louis Vuillot called Gautier's prose. These heavy sands are language tide and wind have silted here. And there the stone heaps of dead builders, a warren of whistled rats. Hide gold here. Try it. You have some. Sands and stones, heavy of the past. Sir Lute's toys. Mind you don't get one bang on the year. I am the bloody wall gigant rose all them. I'm the bloody wall gigant rose all them bloody wall boulders. Bones for my stepping stones. Fee fo fum. I smells the bloods odds and Irids men. A point-leaf dog grew into sight running across the sweep of sand. Lord, is he going to attack me? Respect his liberty. You will not be master of others or their slave. I have my stick. Sit tight. From further away, walking shoreward, across from the crested tide, figures two. The two Marys. They have tucked it safe among the two bulrushes. Peekaboo. I see you. No, the dog. He's running back to them. Who? Galleys of the loglands ran here to the beach in quest of prey, their blood-beaked brows riding low on a molten pewter surf. Dane Vikings, torques of tomahawks a-glitter on their breasts, when Malachi wore the color of gold. A school of turtle-hide whales stranded in hot noon, spouting, hobbling in the shallows. Then, from the starving cage-work city, a horde of jerkined dwarfs, my people with flyers' knives, running, sculling, hacking in green blueberry whale meat. Famine, plague, and slaughters, their bloody seeing me, their last my waves. I moved along them on the frozen leafy, that I channeling among the splattering resin fires. I spoke to no one, none to me. The dog's bark ran towards him, stopped, ran back, dog my enemy. I just simply stood pale, silence bayed about. The Revelia Meritans. A primrose fortune's knave, smiled on my fear. For that are you pining the bark of their applause? Pretenders, live their lives. The Bruce's brother, Thomas Fitzgerald, Silk and Night, Perkin Warbeck, York's False Sion, in brushes of silk of white rose ivory. Wonder of the Day and Lambert singing, with a tale of nuns and saddlers, a scullion crowned, all kings' sons. Paradise of pretenders then and now. He saved men from drowning, and you shake at a curse yelping. But the courtiers who mocked Guido in or Saint Michel were in their own house. House of, we don't want any of your medieval abstrusiosities. Would you do what he did? A boat would be near, a life buoy, naturlich, put there for you. Would you not? The man that was drowned 9 days ago of Maiden Rock. Nuestro ahogado. Todos los capítulos de Ulises tienen un ahogado, y acá hay uno. Muy fácil. They were waiting for him now. The truth, spit it out. I would want to. I would try. I am not a strong swimmer. Water goes soft. When I put my face into it in the basin of conglows, can't see. Who's behind me? Out, quickly. Do you see the tide flowing quickly in all sides, sheeting the loaves of sands quickly? Shell cocoa colored? If I had land under my feet, I want his life still to be his, mine to be mine, a drowning man. His human eyes screamed to me out of horror of his death. I with him together down, I could not save her. Water's bitter death, lost. A woman and a man. I see her skirties, pinned up, I bet. Their dog ambled about a bank of twinkling sand, trotting, sniffling on all sides, looking for something lost in a past life. Suddenly he made off like a bounding hare. Years flung back, chasing the shadow of a low skimming gull. The man shrieked, whistled, struck his limp ears. He turned, bounded back, came nearer, trotted and twinkling shinks. On a felt tinny of a buck, trippant, proper and attired, at the lace fringe of the tide he halted with sheaf forehoofs, seaward pointed ears. His snout lifted, barked at the wave noise. Herds of seamers. They serpented towards his feet, curling, unfurling, many crests, every ninth, breaking, splashing from farther out, waves and waves. Cockle pickers. They waded a little way in the water and, stooping, seized their bags, and lifting them again, waded out. The dog yelped, running to them, reared up and pawned them, dropping on all fours, again reared up at them with mute, bearish fawning. Unheeded, he kept by them as they came forward the drier sand, a rag of wolf's tongue red painting from his jaws. His speckled body ambled ahead of them and then loped off at a calf's gallop. The carcass lay on his path. He stopped, sniffled, stalked around it. Brother, nosing closer, went round it. sniffing rapidly like a dog all over the dead dog's big draggled fell. Dog skull, dog sniff, eyes on the ground, moves to one great goal. Ah, poor dog's body. Here lies poor dog's body. Poor dog's body's body. Toddlers, out of that, you mongrel. No, se cayó. No te caigas, que no te caiga. Me caigo. Es re complicado. Pero me re sirve leerlo así en voz alta. Ahí me soné la espalda. Y me voy a volver a sonar. No sonó. Bueno, mal ahí. Seguimos. The cry brought him sulking back to his master, and a blunt bootless kick sent him unscathed across a spit of sand, crouching flight. He slunk back in a curve, doesn't see me. Along by the edge of the mole, he dawdled, smelt a rock, and from under a cocked hind leg pissed against it. He trotted forward and lifted his hind leg, pissed quick short at an unsmelt rock. The simple pleasures of the poor. His hind paws then scattered sand, then his forepaws doubled and doubled. Something he buried there, his grandmother. He rooted in the sand, doubling, and stopped to listen to the air, scraped up the sand again with a fury of his claws, soon seizing apart a panther caught in Spruce Bridge, boltering the dead. After he woke me up last night, same dream, or was it? Wait, open hallway, street of Harlot, remember. Harun al-Rashid, I am almost in it. That man led me, spoke, I was not afraid. The melon he held against my face, smiled, green fruit smell, that was the rule, said. In, come, red carpet spread, you will see who. Shouldering their backs they travelled, the red Egyptians. His glued feet out of stern dupe trousers slapped the clammy sand, a dull brick muffler strangling his unshaven neck. With woman's steps she followed, the ruffian and his strolling mort. Spoil slung at her back, loose sand and shell grit crusted her bare feet. About her, with rough face, her hair trailed. Behind her lord, his helpmate, being a wasp to Romeville. When night hides, her body's flaws calling under her brown shawl from an archway where dogs have married. Her fancy man is treating two royal Dublins in all laughing of black pits. Buzz her whopping rogues wrong lingo, for oh, my dimber whopping thou, as she feigns whiteness under her rancid rags. From Bailey slain that night, the 10 years mouse. White thy fumbles, red thy gan, and thy quarrons dainty ease, couch a hogshead with me then, in the dogman's clip and kiss. Morose delectation, Aquinas Tambelli calls this, frate porcospino, unfallen Adam, wroth and not rooted, call away let him. Thy quarrons, dainty ease. Está yendo mi viejo. ¿O no? Estoy escuchando llaves. Llegó mi papá. Bueno, voy a pausar esto. O lo voy a terminar fuera de cámara. Faltan 5 páginas. 0. Nada. Que no voy a dejar que me escuchen. Leer esto en voz alta. Bueno, eso. Faltan 5 páginas. Bueno, sigo porque está en la cocina y fue al baño. O sea que lo bueno es decir un poco más en voz baja. Acá, entre nos. ¿Dónde quedé? Moral selectation. Aquinas Tambelli calls this frate porcospino. And Father Madam, roll and not rotted, call away let him, thy worms dainty ease. Languish no wit worther than his. Mock words, merry deeds, jabber on their girdles. Rogue words, tough nuggets, powder in their pockets. Passing now. aside-eyed my Hamlet hat. If I were suddenly naked here as I sit, am I not? I trust the sense of all the world followed by the sun's flaming sword to the west. Dale, Doc. Cerró la puerta. Joya. Eso fue mi viejo diciéndome, ahora vengo. Dale, son 5 páginas, dale, vamos. To the west, trekking to evening lands. He trudges, schleps, trains, drags, stressings her load. Para igual voy a ir al baño, de hecho. Así que pauso de vuelta. Volví. Ok, ahora sí. Entonces. She trudges, schleps, trains, drags, stressings her load. A tight western moon drawn in her wake. Tides myriad landed within her, blood not mine, oinopa, ponton, a wine dark sea. And behold the handmaid of the moon, if sleep the wet sign calls her hour, birds her rise. Bright bed, childbed, bed of death, ghost candled, omnis caro ad te veniat. He comes, pale vampire, through storm his eyes. His bad sails, blood dyeing the sea, mouth to her mouthless kiss. Here, put a pin in that chap, will you? My tablets, mouth to her kiss. No, must be 2 of them. Glue and wall, mouth to her mouthless kiss. His lips lipped and mouthed, fleshless lips of air, mouth to her womb, al wombium tomb. His mouth mouthed issuing breath, unspeeched, Uia! Roar of cataractic planets, gobbled, blazing, roaring, waya 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 waya. Paper, the banknotes, blast them. All this is letter here, thanking you for hospitality, tear the blanket off. Turning his back to the sun, he bent over far to a table of rock and scribbled words. That's twice I forgot to take slips from the library counter. His shadow lay over the rocks as he bent, ending, why not endless till the farthest star? Darkly they are there behind his light. Darkness shining in the brightness, delta of Cassiopeia, worlds. Me sits there with his augur's rod of ash, in borrowed sandals. By day besides a living sea, unbeheld in violet night, walking beneath a rain of uncouth stars. I throw this ended shadow from me, man-shape in an ineluctable, call it back. Endless, would it be mine, form of my form? Who watches me here? Whoever anywhere will read these written words? Signs on a wide field. Somewhere to someone in your fluttiest voice. The good bishop of Cloyne took the veil of the temple out of his shovel hat. Veil of space with colored emblems hatched on its field. Hold hard, colored on a flat. Yes, that's right, flat I see. Then think distance, near, far, flat I see, east, back. Ah, see now. Falls back suddenly, a frozen in stereoscope. Click does the trick. You find my words dark. Darkness is in our souls, do you not think? Flurrier, our souls shame-wounded by our sins. Cling to us yet more, a woman to her lover clinging, the more. She trusts me. Her hand gentle, the long lashed eyes. Now where the blue hell am I, bringing her beyond the veil? Into the ineluctable morality of the ineluctable visuality. She. What she? The Virgin at Hodges Fiji's window on Monday, looking in for one of the alphabet books you were going to write. Kingland's sunshade. She lives in Lesson Park, with Griff and Stevie, a pick-me-up. Bet she wears those skirts of God stays suspenders and yellow stockings, darned with lumpy wool. Talk about apple dumplings. Piuttosto, where are your wits? Touch me, soft eyes, soft hand. I am lonely here. Oh, touch me soon, now. What is that word known to all men? I am quite here alone. Step 2, touch me. He lay back at full stretch over the sharp rocks, cramming the scribbled note and pencil into a pocket. His hat tilted down on his eyes. That is Kevin Egan's movement I made noting for his nap. Sabbath sleep. et vidit Deus, et erant valde bona. Allo, bonjour, welcome as the flowers in May. Under its leafy watch through peacock twittering lashes the southern sun. I am caught in this burning scene, pen sour the funnel noon, among gum heavy serpent plants, milk-oozing fruits, whereon the tawny water's leaves lie wide. Pain is far, and no more turn aside and broad. His gaze broadened, and his broad-toed boots a box cast of nevenator. He counted the creases of rugged leather wherein another's foot had nested warm. The foot that beat the ground in tripudium, foot I dislove. But you were delighted when Esther's Oswald shoe went on you, girl and you in Paris. Tiens, quel petit pied, staunch friend, her brother's soul, whilst love that dare not speak its name, he now will leave me, and the blame, as I am, all or not at all. In long lassos from the cock lake the water flowed full, covering green goldenly lagoons of sand, rising, flowing. My ash plant will float away. I shall wait. No, they will pass on, passing, chafing against the low rocks, swirling, passing. Better get this job over quick. Listen, a four-worded wave speech. Seesaws, race, woods, vehement breath of water amid sneeze snakes, rearing horses, rocks. In coops of rocks it flops, flop, slop, slap, bounded in barrels, and spent its speech ceases. It flows purling, widely flowing, floating foam pool, flower unfurling. Under the upswelling tide he saw the reading weeds lift languidly and sway reluctant arms, hissing up their petticoats, in whispering water swaying and upturning coy silver fronts. Day by day, night by night, lifted, floated, and let fall. Lord, they are weary, and whispered too, they sigh. Saint Ambrose heard it, sigh of leaves and waves, awaiting the fullness of their times. Diebus ac noctibus inurias patiens ingemiscit. To no end gathered, mainly then released, forth flowing, wending back, loom of the moon, worried too inside of lovers, lascivious men, a naked woman shining in her courts, she draws a toil of waters. 5 fathoms out there, full fathom, five thy father lies. At one he said, found round, high water a Dublin bar, driving before it a loose drift of rubble. Fan shoals of fishes, silly shells, a corpse rising, salt white from the undertow. Bobbing landward, apace, a porpoise. There he is, hook it quick, sunk though he be beneath the watery floor. We have him, easy now. Bag of corpsegas sopping in foul brine. A quiver of minnows, fat of a spongy tidbit, flash through the slits of his button trouser fly. God becomes man, becomes fish, becomes barnacle, goose becomes featherbed mountain. Death breathes, I living breathe, tread dead over the gunwale, tread dead, dust devour, a urinous offal from all dead. Hold stark over the gunwale, he breathes upward and stench of his green grave, his leprous nose hole snoring to the sun. A sea changed this, brown eyes salt blue, see death, mildest of all deaths known to man, old Father Ocean, pre the Paris. Beware of imitations, just you give it a fair trial, we enjoy ourselves immensely. Come, I thirst, clouding over, no black clouds anywhere, are there? Thunderstorm, all bright he falls, proud lighting of the intellect. Lucifer, dico, quinescit occasum. No, my goggle hat and staff, and he's my sandal shoon. Where to evening lands, evening will find itself. He took the hilt of his ash plant, langing with it softly, dallying still. Yes, evening will find itself in me, without me. All days make their end. By the way, next when is it? Tuesday will be the longest day. Of all the glad new year, mother, the round Tom, Tiddly Tom, Lon Tennyson, gentleman poet, yeah, for the whole old hag with the yellow teeth, and Monsieur Dumont, gentleman journalist, yeah. My teeth are very bad. Why I wonder. Feel that one is going to. Shells. Ought I go to a dentist? I wonder with that money. That one. Toothless King, the Superman. Why is that, I wonder, or does it mean something, perhaps? My handkerchief. He threw it, I remember. Did I not take it up? His hand groped vainly his pockets. No, I didn't. Better buy one. He laid the dry snot picked from his nostril on a ledge of rock, carefully. For the rest, let look who will. Behind, perhaps there is someone. He turned his face over a shoulder. Rare regardant. Moving through the air, high spars of a freemaster. Her sails braid up on the cross trees, homing upstream, silently moving, a silent ship. Terminé. Dios mío. Terminé el capítulo 3, que era Proteo. Ahora tocará el capítulo 4. Ya esto terminó la telemaquía, que es la parte de Stephen Dedalus, que él viene a ser más telémaco. Y a partir de ahora me van a introducir a Bloom. Así que ni idea qué onda, cómo me voy a llevar con Bloom. Creo que es menos pesado que Stephen con sus pensamientos, espero que sí. Pero bueno, nada, eso. Uy, 50 minutos dura esto. ¿Alguien me querrá ver hablar durante 50 minutos? Espero que no. Pero bueno, lo voy a grabar para, no sé, para ponerme antes de dormir. Pero si esto es rarísimo, por suerte me compré claves de lectura de Ulysses de Gamerro. Estuve chusmeando un poco, pispeándolo, está bueno, sirve, funciona. Chusmeo también mucho ¿cómo era? Choice Project, también buena página. Sirve mucho este taller que estoy haciendo, pero si no, no entendería nada, cero. Pero bueno, nada, eso. Así que nada, espero que esto tipo termine de grabar y se guarde este video. Pero nada, eso, gracias por escucharme. Besos. Mua.